The microphone.
Under the lights, speaking of facts, double the price, yeah. Under the lights, we covering sports, whatever you like, yeah. Home runs in the park, touchdowns in the end zone. Knockouts in the ring, buzzer beater for the win, go hard and go home. Find out who you are when you under the lights. That pressure made a star, right there. Under the lights, you looking for the best, tune in to Under the Lights. Yeah, yeah, Under the Lights.
Yeah. Welcome back to Under the Lights. We are your host. I'm Big Mike, and that's my guy, Jordan. Well, the football season is over. The Super Bowl is done with. Basketball only from here on out. You know what I mean? Hopefully we get to talk about a little baseball, but you know, for the main sports that's on right now, it's basketball. That's it, man. Sam Darnold, new Seattle Seahawks, went out there, won the Super Bowl, dismantled the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting it to go that bad. You feel what I'm saying? But, hey, they went out there and got the job done, man. What's up, bro? I know your boy Sam Darnold got him one. What's up with you, man? Hey, I want to ask you how you feel about it. I want to ask you how you feel about him getting a ring before Lamar Jackson. And this just popped in my head just now. Real shit. I promise to God.
I mean, to be honest, if Lamar Jackson didn't have hadn't had a good career so far, I'll be a bit salty. But I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? It's because it's not like Sam Darnold like all of a sudden catapults himself as the best quarterback in the world or nothing like that. But I think it's a good story for Sam too, man. Like that, all quarterbacks, you know, you go your own you what's that word? Unconventional way, you know what I mean, of getting to the top. You know what I mean? And I love it for him. You know what I'm saying? So so if you were to ask me just what is it that I'm feeling because of that, like I don't really feel any way because, you know, I like Lamar Jackson still has had a great career, you know what I mean? So I'm not like too fussed. If it was something maybe like, I mean, it's a Joe Burrow or something, then I'll be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that you can show for what you have done so far. So yeah.
I think it's probably so because you like Sam Darnold too.
Yeah, I do. I've been calling for Sam for a while now. So
you like Sammy. You like Sammy D. You like Sammy D. You like Sammy Darnold out there. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to the people. You do like Sam Darnold. You have talked about him, said you like him. You know what I mean? So is he like, you know, is he ever gonna take Lamar Jackson's spot? What if he went out there and won back-to-back Super Bowls? Is he gonna like, I'm rolling with Sam. Sam, my number one guy. Lamar, number two. Is it ever gonna be like that?
No. Lamar's my favorite like player right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Of you know what I'm saying? It's just because remember my cousin went to Louisville.
Yeah.
And, you know, she told me about him, and that's when I started watching, you know, Louisville and Lamar Jackson. So I've been a Lamar Jackson guy since college.
Yeah.
You know my favorite player all the time. You already know who that is.
I'm about to ask you. So is he gonna catapult Cam Newton?
No, he's ahead of Cam Newton. But my favorite player all the time, Mike Vick.
No. I know, but I know you like Cam Newton too as well. I know that's your boy.
Yeah.
So I mean, even though they ain't playing no more, but it's like, I like Lamar more than Cam Newton.
I like Lamar more than Cam. Than Cam. You know, I like Calvin Johnson too. You know, we was playing Madden, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. Wait, so he ain't go past Michael Vick? Is he gonna catapult that?
Michael Vick is just nostalgia, you know what I mean? Like he's just, you know what I mean? Like when I was young, and you know what I mean? He's a big reason why I was watching football. You know what I'm saying? Is Mike Vick. I can't lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I can admit that Lamar's a better player. You know, I can admit that Lamar's a better runner of the football, whatever you want to say, whatever it is. Like he's just a better quarterback than him. Let's just keep it 100. But Mike Vick, listen, one of the best arms ever.
Boy got a rocket. Shit, Lamar got a rocket. Shit, Lamar.
Yeah, Michael Vick rocket is crazy.
Trust me, I know. When I think about rocket, I think about the play with him and Deshaun Jackson against the Redskins at that time on Monday Night Football, nigga, and he threw that motherfucker on a dart, a rope to Deshaun Jackson. I mean, it cleared 50, 60 yards, dog. You know what I'm saying? This was easy. that was the flick of the wrist type shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, I'm with you.
I know
get
you know
it.
the commercial too when he's throwing those, and they're hitting them, and then
Yeah.
obviously it's a bit fake, but you know. What
Yeah.
I mean?
Let me tell you something. The way he was doing that back then, throwing that ball, I used to be like, I wonder did he really do that? Because it used to look like, this is when we was young, obviously, but it used to look like when he threw the ball, it was like so effortless. Like he had a rocket for an arm, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, shit, looking at them commercials back then, I'm like, well, shit, if this motherfucker was to throw that fucking ball hard as hell, you know what I mean? Could he get it outside that? And I'm young thinking, now older, it's like, nah, he ain't doing it like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, he ain't doing it like that. But back then, it's like, man, I wonder, could he really do that? Because he's throwing these footballs easily downfield, like with velocity. And you know, the further the football go, the less velocity it's going. It look like it never loses velocity when he throwing that ball. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but it would. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I would be. And like I said, you like Sam Darnold, so it's a little. It ain't like it's like damn. But I'd be shitty if the quarterback draft class, you know what I mean, and I like my guy, and they got one before my guy, I'd be kind of shitty. I would be, you know what I mean, unless I was like that guy, like you like Sam Darnold, then it could be a little different, probably, you know what I mean. But I'd be like, fuck, it's like somebody winning a Super Bowl in your division before you, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I hate that shit, you know what I mean? But let's talk about the Super Bowl though, man, because we know that is the greatest sport in the world. You know what I'm saying? The greatest sport in the world. You know what I mean? And the Seattle Seahawks went out there to. I don't want to hear nothing.
It ain't.
Jordan, just because all them foreign motherfuckers can't play football and that's all they grew up on watching, that don't mean they got the greatest sport in the world. U.S. football is not for everybody. It's for them dogs and them 5 foot, 110-pound niggas on the soccer field. They ain't never gonna hop on the football field. So anyway,
it's not the best sport in the world. Like that's come on, like just keep it 100, bro. Like
I put it to you like this: if you want to go NFL, NBA, NFL, that's cool. As long as them two is first two. That's all that matters.
It's not soccer. Yeah, the best sport in the world, man. You see the views too.
Listen,
let me tell you something.
I get views and all of that old shit, right? That's all good, but that's just like saying you the best rapper because you got a bunch of views. Soccer is worldwide because a lot of them motherfuckers can't play it. And football is not a sport that's over there, and they don't have they don't have what we have. All y'all need is a soccer ball, nigga. Them poor ass countries is playing soccer and shit. They can't afford a helmet, shoulder pads, cleats, and all that.
They don't need that.
But that's what I'm saying. Football requires that.
No, you don't need that. Really.
Unless you're talking about the rugby shit. No, that's cool. That's cool. It ain't more exciting than the NFL. I'll tell you that much.
Now you talk about more exciting. It's not.
It's not better. It's not, you know, damn well rugby ain't better than NFL.
I agree with you. I'm an NFL guy. All I'm saying is this, brother. This is all I'm saying. I'm not. We know about the views and everything. I don't want to go.
I mean,
soccer's obviously
bigger
than NFL, right?
Yeah.
But that's a big reason why you guys are starting to, the NFL is starting to try and go abroad, right? They're trying to go abroad, trying to make the NFL bigger. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, it can only help your sport. If you open it up to the other, like if you see some straight African dudes and said they playing soccer, some of these African dudes they come out there and listen. These dudes chasing tigers and shit. So let me tell you something. And like what we don't, I'm obviously being exaggerating.
Yeah.
But it's like if you trying to bring these people into your sport, it's only gonna help. You know what I'm saying? Just like it did the NBA, just like it's gonna do any sport. You know what I'm saying? So,
but you also got to understand, football is a violent sport.
Yeah.
It's violent, and a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people keep their kids away from football. You know what I mean? So if you growing up overseas and you seeing this shit, you ain't gonna want your kids playing that. You don't want.
I would agree with you, but rugby is also one of the biggest sports in the world too, and those sports is played over everywhere in the world.
Yeah,
so
it is.
We can't just say it's not because NFL is not just the only violent sport. But
here's the thing: those rugby guys, they're playing football, but they don't have the technique that these guys have. They can't go out there and cover. They can't go out there, you know what I mean, and put them in the open field and just go out there expecting to make that tackle because the guys running the football is not as dynamic as the guys running the football in the U.S. You know what I mean? It's totally different. I get the physical part because They hitting motherfuckers with nothing on. You know what I mean? And they also got that one shit where you seen them Samoan dudes just running straight into each other. They ain't even trying to shake nobody. They just doing this like a crash dummy test.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Them motherfuckers is crazy, but football is the greatest sport in the world, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know it's not, bro. You know it's not.
How?
You know it's not. It's not.
You just saying that because soccer's just, what are you basing it off of? Because I mean the views?
What am I basing off what?
What's the better sport? Because the thing is, views?
So the thing is, because this is an opinion base, it's we can't really say any, like, we can't say whatever. It's just an opinion, right? But so there's not much that we can go off of. The only thing we can go off of is who watches what more, who plays what more, and if most of the world, whether or not, because you can play other sports, all you need is a ball. Whether or not you want to get a football, rugby ball, soccer ball, dudes don't just get soccer balls just with a soccer ball, bro. You can create the soccer ball. My pops used to tell me they had a bag, they put a bunch of shit in the bag, and they made a soccer ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dudes is coming from that type of situation. So it's like, I'm not just going to put it, like, we have to come up with some type of metric. And the metric, like, more people watch soccer, more people play soccer. Everybody it's just what it is, bro. It's not a crazy thing, you know what I'm saying? And the NBA is coming soon, because I think the NBA, a lot of people are doing the same thing. You just need a hoop and people are playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? So
go ahead.
If anything, I would say basketball is closer to a soccer soon. You know what I'm saying? But just soccer is always going to be that number one sport. You know what I mean? Until otherwise, bro.
So I just disagree, because more people play it, like I said, U.S. football is one of a kind. You know what I mean? It's whether they playing rugby or not, that's not football. That's rugby, and the rules are different. The athletes are different. The dynamic catches, the dynamic runs, all of this shit, the excitement that come along with it as well. And I just don't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't grow up in a soccer country or grow up playing soccer and shit like that all my life. So my opinion is going to be different. You know what I mean? That's very exciting to me. Soccer is not more exciting than football or basketball to me. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
I know. So I just the views thing. Yeah, it's all over the world because everybody can play it. More people can play it. Them dudes can't come on this football field and do that. So I mean, maybe, like you said, maybe they do got to come up with a metric, whoever they may be, to where what's gonna make it better or why you think it's better. I don't know, but shit.
Yeah, but
you gonna say soccer? I'm gonna say football.
I'm with you, but the only thing is, I think basketball is more exciting
than football
than soccer. No, that's soccer. Like, I think basketball. That's right. So you see, I'm not being a bias here, because I'm not like. I grew up playing basketball, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just so happened to go pro playing soccer. But like, I grew up playing basketball and football, hockey, whatever it was. Like, I was trying to do all those things. I just don't think both players can't go. One person can't go to soccer, and soccer can't go to NFL football. Like, it's difficult.
Listen,
both.
I know for damn sure they can't go play on the football field. I know that.
But the thing is, actually, a soccer player can go and be in an NFL team, because there's a thing that we can do that puts points on the board. You understand what I'm saying? But we don't call them football. We don't call them football players, though. Whatever it is,
we don't call them football players.
They're part of the team, bro. Don't try to do that. Don't do that.
No, I'm telling you, bro. They don't even do drills, bro. They don't do drills. They don't do nothing. They just go kick. They're not football players. I can go out there and play some defense out there. Go out there, play some. I go out there, play some wing.
We can't do the crossover thing, because the crossover thing, like, no one's gonna do the crossover thing. It's too difficult, bro.
Yeah, let's talk about the NFL though, man, because we did see an ass whooping yesterday in Super Bowl 60 out there in Santa Clara. You know what I mean? We've seen the Seattle Seahawks go out there and destroy the New England Patriots 29-13. You know what I'm saying? Jordan, what was the biggest reason? If you want to take it out, take it. It don't matter. What was the biggest reason for the Seattle domination? Well, okay, cool. Let me tell you. First of all, you know what?
We already know what it was, but you can.
Listen. You know what's crazy? If you're a 49ers fan, like our man Twan. You see, I got the mic right here. He gonna be here in a little bit. He gonna be here in a little bit. Like my man, like our man Twan, my guy Dion, my guy Twitch, and my guy Fish. It has got to be so painful for you to sit there and watch your division rival go out there and win a Super Bowl in your building. That has got to be painful. Oh my God, bro, that's like the Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl in our building, and vice versa. You feel me? That has got to be painful. I feel for the 49er fans, you feel me? But, I mean, listen, the biggest reason we know is the defense. That defense been lights out all year long, and they came ready to play yesterday. I mean, you look at the first half. I mean, Drake Maye, 6 of 11 for 48 yards in the first half. The run game, 7 carries for 23 yards in the first half. Hell, they was behind so much, they didn't even try to run the ball with him in the second half. Yeah, he finished the game with 23 yards. You feel me? He finished the game with that shit. You know what I mean? The defense, first 3 quarters, shutout. Them little two, what was it? What did Sam, what did Drake make? He had 27 for 43, 295 yards and 2 touchdowns. Them was empty stats. They did nothing for the game. And he also had 2 interceptions as well. And he led his team in rushing yards with 37 yards. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna sit here and act like rushing yards from a QB is rushing yards from a running back. Ain't like he out there getting through niggas and making niggas miss. Niggas is playing open, niggas is playing covers downfield. Go out there and make the play, whatever the case may be. But he led the team in rushing yards. That's how lights out the Seattle Seahawks defense was. And I knew coming into this game that this game for the New England Patriots was going to be tough, because I sat there and I watched Drake Maye and the New England Patriots struggle against the Houston Texans. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for C.J. Stroud just handing the Patriots the game, and by giving them the ball 4 or 5 times, I think they could have won that game if they just didn't turn the ball over, because the Patriots could do absolutely nothing. But if you're going to keep giving them short fields, they're going to go out there and get a dub. You understand what I'm saying? And they did that. I seen him struggle against the Denver Broncos. I seen him go out there and struggle against them in the conference championship game. And this before the snow hit the field. Before the snow hit the field, they were struggling. He wasn't doing anything at all whatsoever. It was pretty much what he did last night, which is pretty much a nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have Bo Nix in there to go put no points up. I watched Jerry Stidham go down there and put a drive together. You know what I mean? Also with the help of Sean Payton, he's calling plays, but go out there and put a drive together and execute the drive against that defense. I know Bo Nix could have went out there and did that a couple more times too, and go out there and have put more points up than New England did, because of that Broncos defense was crazy. He wasn't going to do that yesterday against that Seattle Seahawks defense either, because that's the same defense that looked like when somebody's trying to run the ball against them, their defensive line don't go nowhere. Their linebackers can run free play downhill, and they got dudes in the DB, the cornerback and DB area that can come up and make plays in the box as well. They a good blitzing team from the corner, you know what I'm saying, from the corner spot, DB spot, you know what I mean, and they could get pressure on you with 4 and drop 7, you know what I mean. So the reason Sam Darnold didn't have a great game. He was only 19. It was a mediocre game, you ask me. 19 of 38 for 202 yards and a touchdown. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. Sam Darnold, you know, I'll get to him in a minute. But he kind of had a mediocre game. You know what I'm saying? But that defense was what won them the game. They also got points off of defense. So yeah, bro, they came up and showed their dominance, showed that that grit and that grind, that defense, you know what I'm saying? And they went out there and pulled that bitch off. And listen, the Patriots, bro, that easy ass schedule showed up yesterday. I'm sorry. And that little walk to the Super Bowl, I don't care. They had the easiest schedule in the NFL. The easiest. It showed up yesterday against a team that was real deal, you know what I mean, and go out there and put clamps on you. So the biggest reason was definitely the defense, and shit, them boys look scary out there.
Yo. So the biggest reason, honestly, let me tell you, it was okay, because you could put it in both ways. But obviously the defensive side of things for the Seattle Seahawks, they were sending blitzes. Their front four was getting to the quarterback and making it real difficult for Drake Maye and that offensive line, right? Because let me tell you something: if people are getting at you really quick, it's going to be hard for any quarterback to go, or any offensive team to go and put some drives together.
Yep.
But let me tell you something, man. It was like Drake May. It's like they were just pedestrian with their play calling. I felt, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like
mm.
I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why. Maybe they thought they were gonna, get a lot of pressure. I don't know. So I know they run the ball a lot too. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. Um, just from watching the game. Also, which was kind of like Drake May, I felt that he could have ran a bit more. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I think if when there was open sea in moments, I would take off, put some pressure on at least the LBs. So they got to come up a bit more. So then if they come up a bit more, at least there's a bit more space. So I didn't really understand that one. You know what I'm saying? I felt like they didn't really execute that well, and it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake May's a
Yeah.
second year quarterback, and I mean with that team, I don't want to just put it on Drake May because dudes was getting in there, getting to him in a quick and in a hurry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was uncomfortable for him. So, and any quarterback can go through those moments where it's tough, and they're just when you're not really connecting, and then you start overthrowing because the game was within balance. It's still, even though the game was still, they were only getting 3 points, 3 points, 3 points,
Yeah.
bro. It was still a game. One
Hmm.
touchdown changes the whole outcome of the game.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And let's not talk about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because they had an opportunity still. You feel what I'm saying? And that's because they were also defending. Seattle was only getting field goals, bro.
Hmm.
They was only getting field goals, so the game was still within reach.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I think it was an offensive. Um, they weren't really. It's like the play calling was poor on the offensive side of the ball, but on the same time, Seattle was also very good on the defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? But the game was still within reach until what, the fourth.
Yeah. Late third, fourth quarter. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like even when it was 19-7, I think it was. I think it was 19-7, if I'm not mistaken.
At
Right?
one point in time, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and they had the ball, and they could have came down. But what happened? Right? Like still had an opportunity.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With all what was going on, they still had an opportunity because their defense was also shutting down and making it slow for Seattle. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
Seattle wasn't out there, going like wasn't out there looking like flipping New England Patriots with Randy Moss out here. It
No.
wasn't looking like this.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a combination of both on what happened here. It was a
Okay.
combination of both. It
Okay.
was a combination of both.
So we seen this year how the Seahawks look through the season and now through the postseason. You know what I mean? Out there, Super Bowl champions right now in dominating fashion. Does this Seattle Seahawks team look like a team that could repeat? They could come out here next year and do it again. You know what I
No,
mean? Why you say that? Why not?
I mean it's just. I mean you have a lot of. I mean the Rams was close. Is what's his name retiring or no? I don't think he's
Who?
retiring. He's retiring.
Who?
Um.
Matt Stafford?
Yeah, he's not
No, he said
retiring,
it,
is he?
no. He said at the at the honors he was coming back next season.
Yeah, look, you still got teams out there, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to do back to back. So you should know that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like it's not easy to go back to back. I think they have a good enough team, but it's just I'm just doing this by the numbers. It's hard to go back to back, bro. It's just hard to go back to back. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I'm not seeing. You still have great teams out there on your side, right? You have great teams out there. You still have Philly. You still have Detroit had a down year. You know what I mean? You still got the Rams. You know what I'm saying? You have what's that team? I don't want to say Dallas.
Okay. What are you talking about then?
I don't want to say Dallas. You have San Francisco out there as well. You know what I'm saying? When
Yep.
they come back, you have a bunch of teams out there. You know what I'm saying? So there's still a lot of teams that could go out there and cause a problem for them. It's not just out there like it's easy pickings now. You know what I'm saying? Then on the other side of things, you might not meet again Drake May. You might go and see, Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or whoever it could be with those. I don't want to say those guys. Baltimore, Kansas City. You might see one of them on the other side too. So no. I don't see them going back to back. You know what I'm saying? But it's been a couple seasons now. Sam Darnold has come and put up good winning records with good numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's a couple seasons now. So we're gonna have to, you can expect them to do well. You know what I'm saying? But we also got to check out their schedule. So let me do that too. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. Um, you gotta check out their schedule for the following year. But I don't see them coming back. It's too tough. It's too tough. It's too tough to do back to back. I don't see them looking like friggin' those teams. Who is it? Mahomes and them. Even your Philadelphia. You have other teams that I don't see that. I don't see that. Going
Okay.
back to the thing. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
So
And I like Sam. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't mind him if he does. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
But it's a stacked place over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't see them going back to back.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, and I know you was like, I understand that because my team won and we haven't won back to back. But I feel that if we had the same, if Kellen didn't leave for a head coaching job, he would have had another year with that offense and been able to do what he wanted to do with it even more. And I think we could have did that. I think so, but it's just like every other year we got somebody new. Like we got a new nigga now. So we'll see. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna have a new head, they're gonna have somebody else new in there too next year. So that could affect it because Clint Kubiak, he's going to the Raiders. Had to let the kids know to calm that noise down, man. But he's going to the Raiders next year. You feel what I'm saying? So it could get different for them on offense. But when I posed this question, you know what I mean? I had to go look at who's all going to be a free agent for them coming up this offseason to see if they could, have majority of the same team back. And I know Mike McDonald in that defense ain't, I know he's the man. He's the first head coach calling defensive plays to win a Super Bowl. I think if I heard that right when they was talking about it last night or whatever. But so he's gonna be there, and that intensity on defense and that what they call it the dark side, that's gonna be there. You know what I mean? But I was just looking at the free agents they got. Kenneth Walker III to be a free agent. He ain't going no damn where. Rashid Shaheed, he's very replaceable. It ain't like he came there and was lighting it the fuck up. He had the kickoff return against the 49ers. He set that game off just right. You know what I'm saying? Boom. He made a big play there. Made a couple plays throughout the season, but it ain't like he's irreplaceable. So they can find somebody else to do what he do. Tariq Woolen, don't know what he gonna be asking for, but I think I don't, and I also don't know what they cap space is looking like. But it's not many guys out here. No, I know he's a guy that they would want to keep. You look at the edge they got, Boye Mafe. He's replaceable. He is. And safety, Kobe Bryant and Josh Joby and right tackle Josh Jones, all those guys are replaceable, bro. Josh Joby, understand this. Josh Joby used to be in Philadelphia. He used to be on my squad. And when he was out there in man-to-man opportunities, he was getting fucking cooked, my nigga. He was getting ate a fucking live. You know what I mean? He was a rookie and shit like that. So, rookie and a real young player, but he was getting cooked, you know what I mean? And I don't think he's just somebody out here that's just a lockdown corner, in my opinion. But they got a couple guys like Kenneth Walker III and Tariq Woolen that they would really have to pay. You know what I'm saying? I think they would want to pay. And then they got Uchenna Nwosu. They might free him up. They might cut him to free up $20 million in cap space because next year is his final year, his contract. You know what I mean? And he's also a guy that, you know what I mean, that's damn good, but you could get somebody else in there. So, and I'm just looking at the toughness of this defense, bro. They got it on every level. Their defensive line is real deal. They can get to your quarterback with 4 and they can stop the run. They linebackers and they DBs, they just got it on all 3 levels. And Jackson, and when it comes to offense, I'm pretty sure, they might upgrade, and even though Cooper Kupp had a good postseason for the Seahawks, they might upgrade it wide receiver in the draft or something like that, get a younger guy and get fit in that offense or whatever the case may be. So this question is, does it look like a team that can repeat? they do look like a team that could get back to the Super Bowl and handle their business. And if my just like how I came in the season last year when we had Kellen Moore as our new guy, and I said I'm not gonna make no early predictions because I don't know what he gonna do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say the same thing here because I don't know what this new guy gonna do for me to say no. We gonna send their ass home because Vic Fangio is coming back for us. But we got a new offensive coordinator who ain't never done it before again, and I just don't know what he gonna do. You know what I mean? I don't think, the Rams could give him a run for their money. Yeah, it's a division game. That can always happen. And so can the 49ers. You feel me? But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Like the Lions, I think they get them up out of there. And them other teams, bro, I just don't think they powerful enough to beat the Seahawks. So they definitely look like a team that can go back to the Super Bowl and represent the NFC for damn sure.
Right now they have, the Super Bowl odds for next year. The favorite is the Rams, and then the Seahawks is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Bills at 3, and then Baltimore and Philadelphia round out the 4, 5 respectively. My brother.
Yeah. That and I don't really care about that. The hell, that's always wrong. I really don't care about what the odds say.
Well, I mean, they're there. They clearly think that Seattle has a chance because they're second.
Yeah. I'm just saying in general, like, I really don't be caring what the odds saying. You know what I mean? Hell, when we won last year, it took them a while to have us as the favorite. You know what I mean? And we was running through niggas. So, oh well.
Yeah. I mean, that passing attack, man, is is still good. Like, Sammy D, man, he's had a couple good seasons now.
No, for sure.
So, and they are obviously retaining a lot of defensive players. So I understand your point. I get your understanding. I get it.
Right. So, and Sammy D, he has had a couple, good seasons. I'm sorry, I just can't put New York Jets on Sammy D. You know what I mean? I just can't do that. Nobody was going to be good there. Nobody, no quarterback, I don't care who it is, was going to go to the Jets around that time from 2018. I think he was there for 3-4 years, 21 or something like that, and was going to do anything for the Jets. He went to the Carolina Panthers. Mm-hmm. They wasn't hitting on nothing. They had nothing out there. He went to the 49ers right after that and learned from Kyle Shanahan. You know what I mean? Kyle Shanahan is a damn good quarterback, a coach to help build a quarterback and get him where he need to be. He's a damn good guy with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So he learned a lot out there. Went out there and balled out in Minnesota. Yeah, it came down to getting the number 1 seed against the Lions. Didn't play so well. All right, cool. That was his first go-round. Came back around this year, played much better in the postseason as well. And then now he's a Super Bowl champion. Did he light it up yesterday? No, he didn't light it up. You know what I mean? But he did make the throw for the touchdown to Addison, to AJ Barner. You know what I mean? And I seen it as soon as the ball was hiked. I seen the tight end coming in motion. And as soon as I see him, didn't even get no contact on a lineman or a linebacker. And I seen him hit that corner right. I immediately said he gonna hit him right there. And he was wide open for the touchdown. You know what I mean? Now, I will say that, yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Before I say that, does he deserve to be a top 10 quarterback after that mediocre Super Bowl performance? You know what I mean? So what I was going to say was, it was a mediocre performance, bro. It was because Sam Darnold was really off yesterday. He was really off. You know what I'm saying? Like throws that he normally be making, he was not making them joints. You feel what I'm saying? And I can go to all 3 pass deflections for Christian Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? The one across the middle of the field to Cooper Kupp, it was behind Cooper Kupp. Christian Gonzalez got a hand on it. That's a pass deflection. The one, the deep post route, it was a post route to Jackson Smith and Jigma. He threw it a second too late, and it was behind Jackson Smith and Jigma. Christian Gonzalez almost picked it off. You know what I mean? And that one deep one down the field to Rashid Shaheed. He had Christian Gonzalez burnt. He had him by 2 steps, and Christian Gonzalez got a hand on it because he underthrew the ball. He also missed Jackson Smith and Jigma early when he was wide open, overthrew it. You know what I mean? And just missing, he was just off target yesterday. And I'm talking these are throws that he was not even under pressure a lot of times, and he was missing those throws. Normal throws that he makes because he made them all year long. You know what I mean? And I'm not in no way trying to say Christian Gonzalez can't go out there and play fabulous defense on one of any type of receiver in the league. But yesterday, all three of his deflections were from passes that were behind the receiver and one that was underthrown. And that's just the nature of it. You know what I mean? So he was pretty much off a lot yesterday. But at the same time, I'm not going to take one game and say for that game right there, he don't deserve to be in the top 10, because he does deserve to be in the top 10. He had a hell of a season, and he had a good postseason. And you look at you got guys on the top 10 list like Herbert, Baker, Jared Goff, and Trevor Lawrence. Don't tell me you can't hop none of those guys. When you talk about Justin Herbert, that is right there is flat out overrated if you ask me. You talk about Baker. Baker starts hot and always ends cold if you ask me. Jared Goff, he's had powerhouses in Detroit for most of the years that he's been there, especially these 2, 3, 4 years, 2, 3 years, and ain't done shit with it. 3, 4 years. And ain't done shit with it. Trevor Lawrence, we already know he's up and down like a roller coaster. So if the guys got them in the top 10, you got a guy like Sam Darnold who just won a Super Bowl and played well all year. He's got to hop into the top 10. Now, I ain't say top 5 and nothing like that, but he got to hop into the top 10. I'm sorry. So, yes, he still deserves to be in that. My opinion.
This is my big thing. And this is where, me tuning in and get and being more locked into football now, a bit more now, obviously, because we have the pod and all that.
Yeah.
Like I'm more invested in it.
Yeah.
I'm a firm now believer in this whole concept of a player that does well and then gets to that big game and doesn't really do so well. And sometimes we have this history that if somebody else does it, we give them the most high and the most praise, right? So my thing is, we have people that would suggest Joe Burrow is the best football player, and I always do this.
Who said that?
People say he's the best thrower of the football, and he's top QB because, why? He's led his team to the Super Bowl. But then when you look at it, and you look at his Super Bowl run, it wasn't really impressive at all. It's just the reality of the situation. He, even in the finals against Kansas City, he was 1 TD to 2 interceptions, bro. It was his defense that won them the game. It was his defense. Now, when I say that with Sammy D, at least, leading up to the playoffs, was comparable, was good. He was good. What was it leading up to the playoffs? Let me see leading up to the playoffs what Sammy D had leading up to the playoffs. So he was 37-53, 474 yards, 4 TDs, 0 interceptions, a passer rating of 122.7. That's him. That's him. But then we look at people that won a Super Bowl, okay? And because and they're in hiatus, huh? Ben Roethlisberger, 9 for 21, 123 yards, 0 TDs, 2 interceptions. People put Ben as up there. So what I'm trying to say is, Sammy D winning his Super Bowl, you can catapult him. You can catapult him far. Like far. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't he be 6? Why can't he be 7? You know what I'm saying? Because I think I think everyone will have Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen. They'll have Joe Burrow for some odd reason, and then they have Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford. It's all there. And then why not Sammy? Why not? Why can't it be Sammy? You know what I'm saying? Sammy could be there, but it's like, yeah, Sammy can be there. So Sammy is 1,000%. Winning the Super Bowl and having a good playoff run, and not just that, Big Mike. Let's be clear. He's had a couple good seasons now. He's had a couple good seasons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just saying one run. He's had a couple good seasons. So now that's a few good seasons plus a Super Bowl run. You got to put him in there now, baby. And I
Right.
can continue to go with greats that's had Super Bowl winning teams and had mediocre performances. But
Mhm.
they, you know what I'm saying? And then we can go to people who had mediocre performances leading up and getting to, I mean, having and leading up going to the Super Bowl. We don't have to, I don't want to go into that one either. You know what I'm saying? But Sammy D at least played well leading up to the Super Bowl. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm gonna give him his just due.
So are you telling me? So I'm asking, are you saying like so Joe Burrow? You said leading up, he didn't have a good postseason. I mean, the
No,
man
what
passed.
no. What I'm saying is when he was when yeah. So his postseason run, it wasn't great at all. It wasn't great.
What was it?
Like what was Joe Burrow's?
I mean, he had 1,105 yards. That was second. You know what I mean, in the postseason, a 97.3 passer rating. You know what I mean? 97 of 142. You know what I'm saying?
Keep going.
He had 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He was sacked 19 times as well. I mean, what are you? Because I
And
know you always. I know. Listen, this is what I know about you. You know what I mean? When we like to talk about quarterbacks, you go straight to Joe Burrow because you are a Lamar guy, and when people bring up Joe Burrow, it hits a nerve. So you always go to Joe Burrow. So I'm asking, like, what type of postseason did he have? A postseason. It was suspect.
if you win a game and you don't you could have damn well lost the game because of your turnovers, but you also your team wins a game against Kansas City. They put him in some catastrophic thing because he beat Pat Mahomes, but
Well,
it wasn't
Jordan, he had
just
two.
wait, hold on. Let me get my shit off. You asked the
All right,
question.
all
So
right.
if that's the case, what I'm saying is this game that is called the NFL, it shouldn't just be you is quarterback stat win. That means you're better or whatever the case may be. You have to there's what you do in the games. You know what I'm saying? It's what you
Mhm.
do in the games. It's not just um he beat Mahomes, but yeah, watch the game. It's not like he played great. But then they catapult him because he beat him. Like that doesn't make sense. So why I'm saying if Sam Darnold can have a mediocre game, he won now. So if winning is what it is and getting there, then you have to give it to Sammy. Then you have
Okay.
to.
Okay. So just to speak on what you said. Okay. Keep in mind, this is the same year that they started off 0-2, and they still went to the Super Bowl and beating a Chiefs team in that time when they were in their fucking heyday. It's going to catapult you. That's what sports does. Joe Burrow that postseason had 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So it's not like he's out here just turning the ball over. You feel what I'm saying? So you said when he's turned the ball over and your team can lose the game. I mean, that's not what he was doing here. You know what I mean? That's not what he was doing. Joe Burrow did not have a mediocre playoff run when they went to the Super Bowl. So that's all I'm saying. I mean, I agree with other shit that you're saying, but you're trying to make it seem like he had a mediocre playoff run, and that's just not true. So, I mean, I'm fine with Sam Darnold. I'm fine with Sam Darnold being in the top 10. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you got guys like Herbert, Baker, Goff, and Trevor Lawrence. Those guys, he can really hop those guys, or whoever you feel like you need to hop in that list or whatever. So I'm not against him being in the top 10 at all whatsoever. I'm actually Seahawks ain't my team. I ain't never been no Sam Darnold guy, none of that, but I'm actually super proud of Sam Darnold, especially when, they still doubt the man. You know what I mean? Talk about, oh man, I got to see what he's going to do. And I mean, that's cool. That's cool. Bro, but Sam Darnold was with a terrible organization. And he had, you know what I mean? And when he went to, the Carolina Panthers and he learned more with the 49ers, he went to the Vikings and the show, and then came to the Seahawks in the show. The Seahawks believed in him. They gave him a 3-year, $100+ million deal, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? I don't know why the Minnesota Vikings let him go, but hey, it is what it is. So that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I'm cool with him being in that top 10, though. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to the New England
So
Patriots.
this is my thing. It's like you so this where people tend to go and say if someone plays like if you get a bunch of yards and you get a bunch of things we have to watch the game, no? Like that's
Yeah, I
also
remember
what
the
you have to
games.
do.
He wasn't out
You
there
have
doing.
to
I don't
you
know
have
what. Did you watch it?
yeah.
Yeah, and you telling me Joe Burrow had a mediocre playoff performance? He had
What I'm
mediocre
saying
playoff
is
run.
it wasn't what I'm saying this. it's not a playoff performance where you're like, yo, this guy, he needs to be catapulted into the. What I'm saying is, if you can go to a Super Bowl, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can go to a Super Bowl. He played in the Super Bowl as well, whether or not you see he got sacked a bunch of times and it was tough for him. But that game that they won, and it was a comeback win, it's not as if you always say the same thing. If you like him, what if they did lose that game? You're gonna blame it on him. Just because you tell me, right? If you turn
If
over
he's
the
if he's if he's turning the
let
ball
me
over,
get my shit off.
yeah,
If he makes a bunch of turnovers and they don't come back and win the game, then you're gonna be like, that's on him. You know what I'm
Jordan,
saying?
tell me the turnovers. I'm asking you.
I mean,
What?
in the game against Kansas City, he had 2 turnovers.
Okay. What
Yeah.
he had?
So
He had,
what I'm
he had,
saying,
he had
so what I'm saying is, if that were to happen, right,
mhm.
and he say he didn't win, you would blame it on him.
If he's turning the ball over and they're getting points off of that, of course, yes, I'm going to say yeah. That's part of it. Yeah,
But the whole, this is why football is an ultimate team game, as everyone likes to say. You need your defense to make plays, and that's what also occurred.
Jordan.
And that's what also occurred.
You know what else was also occurring? He had the worst offensive line, bro. And he still listen. You can't look down and say, "Oh my God, I hit something." No, that matters. You was talking about your offensive line this year in Baltimore and talking about how sad the offensive line was, bro. Joe Burrow's offensive line was horrendous. Joe Burrow's offensive line has been horrendous. I think he's been sacked more than anybody. That's why he's so fucking beat up. The man got sacked 19 times in the postseason, 7 times in the Super Bowl. So that also played a part. I'm not just about to sit here. If you told me you watched, so if you watched that, you gonna tell me you didn't see that offensive line? When Pat Mahomes first went to the Super Bowl, when they went against the Buccaneers, nigga, he was running for his life. That's just what Joe Burrow was doing. He got sacked 7 times. So you can say, oh, he had this turnover. He also, you said that he also didn't have no help from his offensive line either. He didn't have any help. He was under pressure the whole game. But I'm just going off. You say he had a mediocre, or he didn't have a great. Your postseason
He didn't have a great postseason.
Your postseason, but listen, you don't have to have a great postseason. You don't have to put up great numbers. Go out there and win the game. He didn't have a bad one either. He didn't have a bad postseason. That's false, bro. That's false. I'm ready to move on if you are, dog.
But you know what? Because I just watched my man Chase and T talk about the offensive line. There was and he said, I mean, and this year they talk about the offensive line as well, but he said specifically, hey, it's not it's not the offensive line. You know, he was saying it's Joe Burrow.
He said talked about what he need to work on some habits or whatever he's doing off
whatever
the
it may be, right? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that's
disagree with
coming
that.
from someone close.
I vehemently disagree with that because you see, if you watching the game, the man is running for his life still. That offensive line has been the topic of discussion in the defense for the Bengals for years to come now. And their GM and their management have been getting ridiculed for years as to why they're not going to bolster up their offensive line. When I talked about the offensive line, you came out here and said, well, just how he was out there, you know, saying that T. Higgins and Jamar Chase needs to get paid. He needs to go out there and say, oh, we need to get some offensive linemen. Jordan, those guys are under contract. He's not about to go out there and advocate for somebody to get their job taken away. Higgins and Chase were free agents and they didn't want to pay those guys. You're not about to go out there and say, yeah, we need better offensive linemen. We need to go out there just.
They said that just the other day.
No. You didn't hear what I said. When I talked about the offensive, I said the offensive line has been getting ridiculed for years, and the offensive line back then was way worse than it is now. We talking about Super Bowl, and we're talking about now. The offensive line is not good now. If the offensive line is not good now, they can barely run the ball. That's why when they ran for 100 yards against the Steelers, Chase Brown, I'm like, oh my God, what? They can't even run for 100 yards. The Bengals offensive line has been trash, bro. And that matters. That's the first level right there.
I'm with you. It's just I'm with you, but I'm just going off. We could speak all we want. I'm just saying from people that are close to a situation, saying Joe Burrow, because this year it's not as if like, yo, you put people. I remember Joe Flacco came in when when bananas with
Mhm.
that offensive line. It's like it's just whether with this they're still putting mad points on the board. I mean, they're doing what they're doing. I don't know. It was their defense that was.
You know why else they went bananas? Because they were able to run the football, and they wasn't a one-dimensional team for whatever reason it was that day. And people ran through the Steelers all year long, so it ain't like the Steelers came in with some top-notch defense. They was getting ran on all year long. Look, we can continue this Joe Burrow type of discussion. Let's move on. No,
But yeah, but I'm just saying that he deserves to be in there no matter with the
I'm with you.
mediocre performance.
I think he should be in the top 10 too. I think he should be. I never disputed that. I think he should be in the top 10 too. Let's go back to Drake May though. You know what I mean? Because Drake May, he was, all year long MVP talks and things like that. Do you believe like after his performance yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Do you think he's an overrated? Is it a little overrated? Do you think so, or what? Should we pump the brakes and say,
it depends on where you put him. It just depends on where you put him. It just depends on where you put him.
Okay.
If you put him in the top 5 talks, he's overrated. If you put him maybe in the 10, 11, 12 mark, then he's right where he's at. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on where you rank him. That will make him overrated or underrated. You feel me? Where do you rank him?
At? I was about to ask you where you rank him at.
Where you rank? If we're talking this year, I would say he played. If him playing this year, then he was definitely a top 5 quarterback this year.
Okay,
he's definitely a top 5 quarterback. I mean, if we just talking about this year of his performance,
yeah,
top 5 quarterback.
But I think that's because it ain't like he got a huge body. It's his second year. It ain't like he got a huge body with say career. So yeah, I mean, off his play this year, for sure, he played like that for damn sure. You know what I mean? For me, I'm not gonna just flat out say he overrated. You know what I mean? Because I came in here before the season started and said that the New England Patriots made the best moves in the offseason. I said that Drake May is a good young quarterback who looks like he wants to learn and get better, and who will get better within every game. You feel what I'm saying? So I did come out here and say I think he would get better. He wants to learn and all that type of shit, and said that they was going to be a good team this year. So I don't think he's necessarily overrated. I just believe the lack of talent that they had to face this year defensively showed up yesterday. They had the easiest schedule. It started off with the 49ers having the easiest schedule, but then when the season started and the season started going, it dropped them down to the 5th easiest schedule. So the Patriots had a cake schedule pretty much all year long. And I think, when you go up against a team like the Seahawks that present those type of problems defensively, and seeing how you struggled against, the Texans, seeing how you struggled against the Broncos, I think that's what showed up yesterday. It's like playing basketball at the YMCA, you being the dog, you know what I mean? And then you go to high school basketball and you about to suit up on Friday nights. It's a little different out here. It's a little different, you know what I mean? So, and that's the type of teams that they was really going against a lot of times this year. They didn't have no tough schedule, bro. So they didn't have nobody to, if they was battle tested like that throughout the year, then I think things may have been different. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a team like Seattle that present them type of problems and you ain't going up against defenses like that, it's going to show. It's going to show. It is going to show. And I just think that's what happened yesterday. So it's something that he can learn from. You see here being his 3rd year next year. Not a lot of guys get to the Super Bowl in their 2nd year. You know what I mean? So that's still good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, bro, not overrated. I think he rated just right after his 2nd year in the league.
Well, for me, if Drake May, like they have first things first, like what's his name? Not Colin. What's his name? Not Chris Bouchard, not Nick Wright. The
what are you talking about?
He has Drake May high up. Is it? First
One
things first.
One of the shows.
Yeah, if you have him in the top 5, then yes, he's be overrated. You know what I'm saying? I think he played top 5 level talking about this year. But if you're saying who's the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, right? And going into next year, whatever the case may be, if you say Drake May is fourth or whatever, then yeah, I would say he's overrated. If you say, okay, next year the top 10 quarterbacks and Drake May's, 10th, ninth, then I'll say, yeah, okay, he's properly rated. You know what I mean? I think you can't, yeah, I think, he had a good season. The postseason wasn't the greatest. That's just it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think the postseason wasn't the greatest. He had a decent season, so I'm not gonna throw him in no crazy talk. So I'd probably have Drake May, 10 to 12 range. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really gonna have him because I got more quarterbacks better than him. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Okay.
and I can name them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to do that. We already know the seven. I got Baker ahead of him. I'm gonna take Sammy D ahead of him. You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna take Goff ahead of him. I'm probably gonna take. I mean, Herbert's been in the league for some time, and he's had good stats. He just has bad playoff performances. So I'd probably put Herbert over him. I have a bunch of players over him. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he played well this year. But I'm not gonna say he's better than all those quarterbacks.
So, and I'm just looking at the Patriots schedule for next year. I mean, we already know they play the Buffalo Bills. So look, they got Bills, and this isn't we don't know what the date is. We don't know where it's gonna be. I mean, let's see, we don't know the date and shit like that, right? We know where, but we don't know the date, right? So, you got at Buffalo, at Chicago, at Detroit, and at Kansas City, and you at obviously the Chargers. Yeah, you got the Chargers. You at Miami. Oh shit! What the hell happened? Okay, yeah, you at Miami, and then you home with Jets, home against the Broncos, the Raiders, the Packers, Vikings. At the Jets again, obviously that's a division game. At Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, and then you end it. Well, like I said, don't know when, but at the bottom it says Seattle Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? So, and my guess is this: knowing that they just got through with the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? The Patriots and Seahawks. I'm already assuming that the season opener is going to be Patriots versus Seahawks. I'm assuming, or the first Sunday night football game might be Patriots and Seahawks, or they might space it out. You know what I mean? Depending on how many, depending on what the schedules and shit look like, because it's gonna be a primetime game. It's gonna be a primetime game. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll be able to see them next year. They'll have from the looks of it, they have a little tougher schedule, and we'll see how they look next year. You know what I mean? So, yeah. One more question though about the Super Bowl though. With Drake May's performance, can we blame that on him being his second year? Can we blame his performance yesterday on this being his second year as a starter?
No, I mean but they put pressure on him, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be hard for any quarterback if hey, look it, man. Look what happened to Pat Mahomes, man. You know what I'm saying? Just the other year when you guys just had to send four and they were getting to him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's gonna be difficult. So I'm not gonna just put it all on him. You know what I'm saying? Even though, just as I told you, there was moments where he could have taken off and got some yards down the middle or made quick decisions, right? There was a lot of times where players were open, he was just missing them.
Yeah,
So it's yeah, people were putting pressure on him, but also he wasn't making the right throws. He was missing players. He wasn't making the right run when necessary. So a lot of it also can be on him, and um, it's just the way it is. I'm not gonna put it. I mean, yeah, I mean that's a learning experience, so you can put it to him maybe in second year. Yeah, I guess. You know what I
okay.
mean? But I guess you just learn from that, and then he'll definitely become a better quarterback. You know, in the future because of it. So I don't know. It's a weird question because it's just not the second years. He had a bad performance because Seattle made him have a bad, like they made him have bad performance.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And made him uncomfortable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you do that to a quarterback, and any quarterback can go through that. Like all of our favorite quarterbacks have had bad games where it's just where it is. You're getting pressured and it's hard. Like all of our quarterbacks have. So
Yep.
It's, for him to do that, it's not any different from any other, it's just happened on the biggest stage in America.
Yeah. Right. Where everybody wants to be, where everybody goes for validation. You know what I'm saying? They want to come over here. You feel me?
No, not anymore. I'll tell you that. No one want to be over there now.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to start over here now. You know what I mean? With that dude in office. You know what I mean? Fucking up a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's definitely a different time over in this bitch. You got. Let me stop because they fuck around and kick my door in. You know what I'm saying? But look, no, I'm not blaming it on that shit. Seattle made him look like that. You know what I mean? He been playing football all year long. He was in MVP talks all year long. You said somebody had him way up high. You know, people was ranking him high. Best. Whatever that's doing. You know what I mean? But nah, bro, you got to give that credit to the Seahawks, because if the Seahawks didn't, it ain't like he did miss some throws and he was under some pressure. You know what I mean? But I'm talking even when he didn't have no pressure. You know what I mean? Missing shit. You feel me? So he's not gonna get that pass from me. You know what I mean? Look at Jalen. Jalen in his second year went to the Super Bowl, right? And he balled the fuck out, right? But if he would have went there and had a performance like that, you know what I mean? I'm not about to be like, he just second year. Nigga, you was front runner for MVP all year long, motherfucker. I'm not about to then come back and say, yeah, it's his second year. No, nigga. Nah. They made your ass play like that. And you didn't show up, nigga, and you didn't show out. You showed up, but you didn't show out. You was just there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I ain't, nah. And I say he was just there because, like I said, yeah, he had 295, but them stats was so empty. That touchdown he threw to old boy Mac Hollins, empty. And then that one he threw at the end of the game to Ramondre Stevenson, empty. Yeah, it had no bearing on the game. So,
well, I mean, the first TD wasn't empty. The second one,
it was 19-7.
If the game was still within reach, remember I told you that the game was still within reach at that time.
It's empty to me because I'm looking at the time on the clock. It's 19-7 when that shit happened. I'm like, y'all not about to go back down there and do no shit like that again. It's not about.
You still had the chance though, right? Because there was a defensive ball game.
They would have had. They still would have had to score twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't. So that's why, you know what I mean? Nah, it's just like when Dak Prescott be having 400 yards passing, but the score was 20-6. You know what I mean? And all they doing now is passing. You know what I mean? And oh my God, the score ends up being 35-31. And you look at the stat sheet, you think, man, this was a shootout. They was going that. No, they wasn't. So that's why I say them shits was empty. They wasn't hitting nothing at all whatsoever. Had nothing to do with him being second year. It's just that shit. They made them boys play like that. So they call it the dark side. They couldn't have seen nothing. They couldn't have seen nothing out there. It must have been pretty dark. They wasn't getting shit. So that's it for me, man. You know what I mean? That's it for me, bro. Now, he ain't gonna make it today. He would have been to say something. He ain't gonna make it today. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know how much more things we have, but I mean, we here. I wanna have a quick little question because I know, and obviously Super Bowl is done with and everything. I know the trade deadline is done. Did you feel, your Lakers or Philadelphia, or do you feel that any teams in the NBA made a big move where you think that, it can change the landscape of things, or what?
Nope.
Or how about do you think your Lakers team made any good moves or anything?
I would say it's a good move, but it's not a life-changing or life-altering move like to get Luke Kennard because he can shoot it. And he's shooting from a good clip this year. He came in the first game, I think he had like 10 points or something like that, whatever the case may be. Anytime you ask somebody he's a much better shooter than everybody is out there on the floor. And he's going to get time and he's going to get open looks too. You know what I mean? So it's just that, like everybody else, don't come to the team that LeBron is on and forget to shoot. You know what I mean? Remember they signed Gabe Vincent. They signed him for what he did in Miami. And rightfully so. He was knocking shit down. He was knocking shit.
Right, he was.
You know what I mean? Go out to LA, wasn't doing shit. That's why he traded his ass. That's why he traded him for Luke Kennard. If you was knocking down shots, as much as the Lakers need shooting, and we all know that's the Achilles heel. Well, the rim protection And the lack of shooting, you know what I mean, is really like, yeah, and their defense ain't the best, you know what I mean? But shit, if you had better shooting, you know what I mean, I think they would be better. But they shooting sucks. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? So adding Luke Kennard, I think that's a good move. It ain't life changing. You know what I mean? And I mean we posed the question, you posed the question about, you know, the Celtics, could they, you know, go back and win the title, you know, if Jason Tatum was to return with Vucevic? And I said no. I watch a lot of the Bulls games. You know what I mean? Understand, I'm a gambler, bro. I'm a gambler. You know what I mean? And the guys that is like, you know, I'm watching to see what's going on. You know what I mean? These two TVs behind me, they always on. You understand? They always on sports. And I don't see Vucevic as life-changing. Like, Vucevic lurks around at the three-point line. You know what I mean? It's not like he's just a knockdown shooter like that. How do I know? I used to put him on my ticket. And you go games and games without hitting nothing. You know what I mean? You think he's going to go out there and give you look at it and say, oh, he averages 10, 11 rebounds. Well, 5, 6 games in a row, he give you fucking 5 and 4 and 3 rebounds and shit. So it's not like he's demanding. I'm just telling you, it's not like he's demanding the glass. He doesn't demand. It doesn't swing the pendulum of power. He doesn't demand anything. You feel me? He just doesn't demand shit. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop him. We got to. So I don't think he moves the needle that much, you know what I mean, for the Celtics. That's just my opinion. He don't own the glass. You know what I mean? He's not really, you know what I mean? He ain't working down in the post. He ain't working down there. You know what I'm saying? And when he do try to work down there, sometimes he get bullied. And he going back out there to the three-point line. So it was no life-changing, life-altering moves within the trade deadline this year. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest one obviously would have been Giannis, and he's staying put. Other than that,
yeah, the James Harden one I think is probably a big one.
Okay,
obviously, I think, you know, Kuminga going to Atlanta. Atlanta is a tricky one.
It's an up and coming team.
Yeah, that team. It's a bit different. I think it's going to be a bit awkward because they have similar games.
Yeah, how you gonna work with Jalen Johnson?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? They got Nickeil Alexander also.
Yep.
They have the French boy Richie Shea. They have quite a bit, man. They have LaMelo Ball's high school teammate Okwangu.
Mm-hmm.
Like the team is not bad. But I just don't know how that's gonna work, you know, because they both similar, real similar games. Jonathan Kuminga needs a ball in his hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jalen Johnson, he ain't like the greatest shooter either, and he needs a ball in his hands too. Now you can see that he can
make plays,
he can hoop, bro. I'm really rocking with Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
It's
he always on my.
He's always on your ticket. Yeah, I have him on my fantasy. I'm not too. I like the Porzingis trade for us. I you know, we weren't using Buddy Hield for some reason. After one, we weren't using Kuminga, so like we might as well get someone. You know what I mean? And then he's off the books next year as well. But it hopefully he's healthy. You know, obviously you have a stretch big that can protect the paint. Like you already know, we need that. Like desperately. So I understand the concept behind it. A shooter and he can rim protect when he's healthy. So I get that. And then being there with Steph, I think that'll open up a lot more because then you can not play Draymond if they're clogging paints, and you can play Al Horford and Porzingis with like Moody and Steph, which that makes a bit more sense. You know what I mean? And you still have some good high IQ guys out there. With D'Anthony Melton, I enjoy D'Anthony Melton, man. He's a good player. I know he came from Philly. He's been good for us. So I'm with that. Other than that, there's not much. Yo, Charlotte is just, bro. Charlotte is. I told them dudes is killing teams, bro. Bro, they on like an 8-game or 9-game winning streak, bro.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. Hey, so yeah, I know. Hey, I know. What's his name got the MVP? You think that's well deserved or no?
Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he should have got it. He had 50 touchdowns in the air. You know what I'm saying? Played a bunch of teams this year. He just balled the fuck out, bro. He just balled the fuck out, bro. Like you can't deny what he did. My guy he thought Drake. Well, he a Patch fan, but he thought Drake May should have won it. I said, man, bro, with that weak ass schedule, man, nah, bro, hell nah, bro. I just don't. Matt Stafford balled the fuck out. He balled out, bro. It ain't nowhere around it. Nobody played better quarterback this year than Matt Stafford. You know what I mean? My opinion. You think so? What you think?
Yeah, he should have won it. I called it I thought he should have won it for sure. I thought he should have won it.
Myles Garrett, two-time defensive player of the year. Two-time.
Garrett's that dude, bro.
You know what I mean? Hey, so did you all right, so obviously Draymond was, if y'all was gonna get Giannis, they would have got rid of Draymond. You think Draymond was really like not tripping? I ain't tripping, shit. It's part of the business. It is what it is.
I think he probably would have been a bit salty, but I think he would be obviously leaving somewhere he's been there his whole life with his family, with his kids, 4-time champion, few-time All-Star Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA type career out there. You know what I'm saying? Changing that organization, 100%. He should be a little bit. Of course, you're getting traded. You know what I'm saying? But it's for fucking Giannis. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was
What
definitely fucking lying. You know what I mean? He was supposed to definitely lying through the front of them motherfucking teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go out here and get traded. They saying that we don't need you no more, nigga. Yeah, you've been here throughout the years and all of that shit. We don't need your ass no more. You're replaceable. And as much shit as Draymond Green talk, you know how I feel about Draymond. But as much shit as he talk, and then you go out here and get fucking shipped out of here too, you're gonna be looking real stupid with all the shit that you be talking. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely, when he was, trust me, he was tuned in, nigga. He was tuned, because it ain't like they sitting here on the phone with Draymond like look, we better do this trade, all right? They ain't doing that shit. He gonna get a phone call and say, hey, yo, you been traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right, click. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been over. So he was tuned in, seeing what was going on. And the closer it got to the trade deadline, the more comfortable Draymond Green got. I don't think Draymond slept at night. He did not have a peace. He can sit there. I slept great. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because you don't know if you're going to have to uproot yourself and your whole family, nigga. Well, he probably wouldn't have uprooted his family because, it's close. The school is in. It's almost the end of the school. It's February. You know what I mean? School is out in May, June, some type of shit like that. So he probably wouldn't have done that. But just having to be in a whole different area code, and it was probably going to be somewhere in the East, probably somewhere. So you're going to have to go to the whole other side of the map when you've been out on the West Coast your whole career. You know what I'm saying? It was most definitely going to be, and I don't think they was going to send us in no motherfucking like a contender. You know what I mean? It was going to be Milwaukee. I don't think no other team was like gonna come in. Yeah, 3 team. Well, we got to get this guy. Yeah, come on. I don't think that was gonna happen. You know what I mean? So he definitely was on pins and needles. I don't give a fuck what he got to say.
Oh shoot, Tatum.
What?
Tatum is he's training with he's participating in portions of practice with the G League team.
Okay.
He's coming back, bro. Good look.
More power to him.
I don't know how he's gonna look though. You're gonna find out.
Yeah, more power to him. Never know. Shit, with technology and shit today, you know what I mean? Shit. Technology, you gotta put the work in. Shit. Cam Akers came back. He playing Cam Akers the running back towards Achilles, came back in 6 months. 6 months. And this is football where you going full speed, every play, planting, stopping, starting, blocking against grown-ass men. You got to use your whole body for power, taking on blocks in the backfield, linebackers blitzing, D-lineman getting back there, and shit, and he lasted. So shit, with the way technology, I don't know who his doctor was, but shit, the way technology is now, bro, it wouldn't surprise me if he came back this season or playoff time, whatever.
Oh, he's going to come back this season. He's going to come back this season.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Because you remember them used to be, you remember once you tore your ACL or your Achilles, it was over. It was over. You wasn't the same guy no more. The surgeries have gotten way more far advanced now. I don't know what they doing, but shit, more power to them. You know what I mean? But shit, man, We're going to be back on this motherfucker Wednesday, man. You know what I'm saying? So for the ones that's viewing right now, for the ones that stopped in, left, came back, whatever the case may be, hit that like and subscribe button so you can be up to date with all things Under the Lights Sports Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at __ under the lights on Instagram as well. Jordan, my guy, appreciate you, my guy. You know what I mean? Trying to be back on here Wednesday. Hopefully he get off working time, you know what I'm saying? But if not, we still gonna rock and roll. But this weekend, we went Friday is a no-go. That's my upcoming, wedding anniversary weekend. You feel what I'm saying? So we're gonna be up out this joint. We ain't gonna be here. So Friday we won't be on, but Wednesday we will be here talking that good sports talk, man. So that's our show for the day, and we gone.